Hello, everyone. Welcome to our class, Move More, Feel Better. Before we get started, I'd like everyone to be aware of the fact that this presentation is provided for educational and informational purposes only. It's not a substitute for any professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. So before starting or changing any exercise or movement routine, please consult with your physician or other qualified healthcare provider, especially if you have existing health conditions, injuries, or other concerns. Participation in any movement or exercise is voluntary and at your own risk. The presenters and organizers are not responsible for any injury or health issues that may result. By continuing, you acknowledge and accept these terms. So today we're going to talk about something that affects our bodies, our mood, and even our energy, and that's how we move each day. This is Move More, Feel Better, Why Daily Movement Matters. This class is for everyone, no matter your fitness level, age, or schedule. You don't have to go to a gym or run a marathon to be healthy. Even a few minutes of movement every day can make a big difference. We'll talk about what movement really means, why it matters, and how you can fit it into your life, even if you're busy, tired, or on a budget. So let's be real. Life gets busy. Some of us work long hours, take care of kids, or deal with health problems. And with all of that going on, it can be easy to forget to take care of our own health. But here's the good news. Taking care of yourself doesn't mean you have to do something big. It starts with small steps. Even light movement, like walking, stretching, or cleaning, can give you more energy, help your body feel better, and lift your mood. So today, we're going to learn what counts as movement, why daily movement helps your health, how to make it simple and realistic, even if you have no time or money, and how to set a small goal that works for you. Sound good? So let's warm up with a quick question. What kind of movement do you enjoy? Or maybe it's what kind of movement did you used to enjoy? It could be anything. Walking in the park, dancing in your kitchen, playing ball with your kids. You don't have to be an athlete for this. So let's take a moment and go ahead and share something in the chat if you feel comfortable doing that. We're going to start talking about what daily movement really is. You might be surprised by how much each of your daily routines already includes some physical activity. Then we'll go over some health benefits about how moving just a little each day can help your heart, your mood, your sleep, and your strength. We'll look at some common challenges people face, like not having enough time, being tired, or not knowing where to start. And before we're done, you'll have a chance to set a small, simple movement goal that you can start working on right away. No pressure, just a step in the right direction. Are you ready? Daily movement is any physical activity that gets your body up and going. That's it. It can be light, moderate, or strong and vigorous. But the key is that your body is not just sitting still. You're doing something, anything, that gets your blood flowing and your muscles working. So let's break it down. Light movement includes things like gentle stretching, walking around your home or apartment. This might be something like washing dishes or light cleaning, just tidying up. Maybe it's folding laundry or watering your plants. This type of movement may not make you sweat, but it keeps your body active. It's also a great starting point if you're just getting back into movement or if you're dealing with health challenges or low energy. Moderate movement would include things like brisk walking, not a stroll, but not running, sweeping or mopping the floor, dancing in your house, playing with your kids or grandkids, biking at an easy pace, walking up or down stairs. This type of movement will usually raise your heart rate a little. You might breathe a little heavier, you might feel warm, and maybe you start to sweat a little bit. That's a good sign. You're waking up your body and you're using your muscles. Now, vigorous movement or strong movement would be something like running or jogging, jumping jacks, maybe fast-paced dancing. This could even be carrying heavy grocery bags upstairs, biking on a hill, or stronger, more vigorous biking, not an easy pace, maybe playing basketball or another sport. You don't have to do this kind of movement every day, especially if it's not realistic for your body or lifestyle. But even just a few minutes once or twice a week can help if you're able to do that. Now let's clear up a common question. What's the difference between movement and exercise? Well, exercise is a type of movement that's planned and structured, often done with a goal in mind, like improving your strength, endurance, or flexibility. This would be things like a 30-minute walk every morning, lifting weights at the gym, doing a workout video on YouTube. Movement is more general. It includes all the physical activity you do throughout the day, even the kind you might not even think about. This would be things like walking to the bus stop, carrying the laundry, bending or reaching for things on a shelf, playing catch with your child. All movement is exercise, but not all, oops, I said that backwards. All exercise is movement, but not all movement is exercise. So all exercise is considered movement, but not all movement is exercise. For most people, especially when starting out, it's helpful to focus on moving more than worrying about doing formal exercise. So you might be wondering, so what? Why should I care if I move more or less? Here's why it matters. Our bodies were made to move. Think about a car that sits in the driveway for months. It starts to rust, the battery dies, and the tires get flat. Our bodies are the same. When we stop moving, things start to break down. We get stiff, we get tired faster, we might even start to feel depressed or down. But when we add movement into our day, even just a little, our joints stay looser, our muscles stay stronger, we have more energy, we sleep better, our mood can improve, our hearts and lungs work better, and we're less likely to get sick. It's like putting oil in the engine. It helps everything run smoother. Here's the best part. You don't have to do it all at once. Even 5 to 10 minutes of movement a few times a day can add up to real health benefits. You don't need an hour-long workout to feel better. You just need to move your body in ways that are doable for you. Ideally, you would want to move every day. But remember, we're talking about daily movement, not daily workouts. Even light activity like stretching, cleaning, and walking counts, and it helps your body more than you think. So far, we've talked about that movement doesn't have to be exercise. Anything that gets your body moving counts, that there are 3 levels of movement: light, moderate, and vigorous, and all are good. You don't have to have a gym membership or a lot of time. You can move when and however you can. And even 5 or 10 minutes can make a difference for your health and how you feel. You just want to start with what works for you. That's what matters. So we're going to talk next about, continue our talk about why movement matters and what actually it does for your body. You might be surprised by how many benefits you can get just by moving a little more each day. But before we move on, does anyone have a quick question about what we've covered so far? All right, let's take a closer look at why movement matters so much. When you hear the words, get more exercise or move your body, it can sound like just another chore on your to-do list, right? I get it. Life is busy, money is tight, and the last thing anyone wants is to feel guilty about not working out. But here's the thing. Moving your body every day isn't about being perfect. It's about feeling better, having more energy, and keeping your body working for you, not against you. It's about making small changes that can lead to big improvements in your health, your mood, and your daily life. So today, we're going to break it down into 5 major benefits. These are real benefits that matter, especially for people with dealing with stress, health concerns, or just everyday challenges. So let's start with something we want more of, all of us, energy. You might think that moving more would make you tired, but in most cases, it actually does the opposite. When you get your body moving even just a little, your blood flows faster, your heart pumps stronger, your lungs work better. That sends oxygen and nutrients to your muscles and brain, which helps wake you up and keep you going. You ever notice how a short walk can clear your head when you're feeling tired or stressed? That's not just a coincidence. Movement recharges your batteries. And just as important, daily movement helps you sleep better at night. When your body uses energy during the day, your brain knows it's time to rest at night. People who move regularly often fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling more refreshed. The power of movement. It doesn't take much to start noticing results, but more energy and better sleep are one of the benefits. Movement reduces stress and lifts your mood. Life can be stressful. Bills, jobs, family, health issues, it all adds up. And when stress builds up, it affects everything: your sleep, your eating, your mood, and even your relationships. Daily movement is one of the simplest, most natural ways to manage stress and improve your mental well-being. Here's how it works. When you move your body, your brain releases feel-good chemicals called endorphins and serotonin. These chemicals help you feel calmer, happier, and in more control. Movement also lowers the stress hormone cortisol, which your body produces when you're overwhelmed. So even if you're not smiling at first, movement helps your brain calm down and reset. You don't need to run or lift weights to get this benefit. Just walking outside, dancing in the kitchen, or stretching for 10 minutes can do the trick. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a bad mood, if you've gone for a walk and come back, you feel just a little bit better? That's movement in action. And here's something else. Movement gives you a sense of accomplishment. When life feels out of control, doing something as simple as a 5-minute stretch or walk around the block can remind you that you are capable. You did something good for yourself, and that builds confidence. Now let's talk about your physical health, specifically your weight, your blood sugar, and your blood pressure. Let me be clear. This isn't about being skinny. It's about keeping your body strong and balanced so you feel better and live longer. When you move your body, you use up energy as calories, and that helps you maintain or even lose weight, especially when you pair it with healthy eating. But even more important, movement helps your body use sugar and fat more efficiently. Here's what that means. When you walk or move, your muscles pull sugar out of your blood for fuel. That helps lower your blood sugar levels, which is especially important if you have or are at risk for diabetes. Movement also helps lower your blood pressure by improving how your heart pumps and how your blood vessels relax. In simple terms, moving your body helps your body manage what you eat better. You're giving it away to use up extra sugar, fat, and energy instead of storing it. So if you're living with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or prediabetes, daily movement is one of the best free treatments you can give yourself. As we get older, if we've had injuries, it's easy to feel stiff, sore, or weak. Sometimes it hurts even to move, so we stop moving. But here's the truth. The less you move, the weaker you get. So movement strengthens your muscles, joints, and bones. You use all of these in a system that is use it or lose it. And that means if you don't move, your muscles shrink. If you don't move, your muscles shrink and lose strength. Your joints get tighter and stiffer. Your bones lose calcium, which makes them weaker. On the flip side, when you move regularly, even just a little, your muscles stay stronger, your joints stay flexible, your balance improves, which reduces falls and injuries, and your bones stay thicker and healthier. You don't have to lift weights or go to the gym. Just standing up and sitting down without using your hands can build leg strength. Carrying groceries, doing household chores, walking upstairs, or using resistance bands all help. And don't forget stretching. Even 5 minutes of stretching each day can help with tight hips, back pain, and stiff shoulders. When you stretch, you give your joints more space to move, and you help prevent injury. It's not about being a bodybuilder. It's about keeping your body strong enough to do the things you love, like playing with your kids or grandkids, walking without pain, or carrying your groceries. Finally, one of the most powerful benefits of daily movement is preventing serious health problems later on. You don't have to be sick to benefit from movement. You can use it to stay well. Regular movement helps lower your risk for heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, depression and anxiety, arthritis, osteoporosis, memory loss, and dementia. That's a long list, but it's backed by science. Why does movement protect you from all these things? It's because your body works better when it's active. Your circulation improves, your brain stays sharper, and your immune system stays stronger. Think of movement like a shield. Every time you move, you're building up your body's defenses against disease. And that's what it's all about. Living your life with more ease, less pain, and more freedom. So now that we've gone through these benefits, I want to ask you something. What matters to you right now? Is it more energy and better sleep? Would it be less stress and a better mood? Maybe a healthier weight, blood sugar, or blood pressure? Maybe you want stronger muscles, joints, and bones. Or you're interested in preventing long-term disease. Which ones would you choose, or what else? And why? This step is important because when we connect movement to something we care about, we're more likely to stick with it. It's not just exercise, it's about sleeping better, being pain-free, enjoying time with loved ones, and staying out of the hospital. So let's bring this all together. Movement is not punishment. It's not about being skinny or perfect. It's not about keeping up with someone on Instagram or at the gym. Movement is a gift you give to your body. It's a gift of strength, a gift of peace, a gift of better health or independence, a gift of more years doing what you love. You don't have to do it all at once. You just have to keep showing up a little bit each day. It adds up. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Okay, we've talked about what daily movement is. We talked about why it really matters. So let's talk about real life because we all know this. Just knowing something is good for you doesn't always mean it's easy to do. You might be thinking, sure, I want to move more, but I'm too busy, or I'm too tired, or I can't afford it. And guess what? You're not alone. Every single person who wants to build a healthier habit runs into obstacles. It's normal. What matters is finding a way around them. So, in this part of our lesson, we're going to look at some of the most common barriers people face when it comes to daily movement and talk about real, simple solutions that can work even when money is tight, time is short, and motivation is low. We'll also do a quick brainstorm on how we can learn from each other. So, let's jump in. Let's look at the first barrier we're going to talk about. No time. It's the number one thing people say, I'm too busy. You wake up, you go to work, you take care of kids or kids, you cook and clean, and by the time you sit down, it's bedtime. Who has time to exercise? But here's the truth. You don't need a big block of time to move more. You can break it up throughout your day, even just 5 or 10 minutes here and there. It all adds up. So some of the solutions may be walk while you're talking on the phone, march in place while you're watching TV, stretch while you fold your laundry. Maybe you'll walk your kids to school or park further away from the store when you go. Maybe you could set a timer and get up and move every hour for 2 minutes. Movement doesn't have to be long. It just should be consistent. Even short bursts of activity are good for your heart, your joints, and your energy. Okay, what about the barrier of I'm too tired? This is real, especially if you work long hours, deal with stress, or have a health condition. But here's the funny thing. The less you move, the more tired you feel. Your body actually needs movement to create energy. So start small. Even 2 minutes of movement can give you a boost. Try moving first thing in the morning to wake up. Even just stretching in bed. Maybe you might go for a short walk after a meal to help your digestion. Keep it gentle. Stretching counts, and you may actually reduce your fatigue. You don't need to push yourself hard. You just need to start. Once you do, you'll find your energy starts to come back. The third barrier we're going to talk about is I don't have any money for a gym or equipment. And the good news is you don't need those things. You have everything you need already. You can use your own body weight for strength, like squats, push-ups, or chair stands. You can take a walk in your neighborhood, at a park, or even inside the mall when the weather is bad. Using a towel for stretching or sliding on the floor works. If you have canned goods or water bottles, those can act as weights. YouTube has tons of free workout videos that you can use. You can search no equipment exercises or seated exercises. Movement is free. Your body is your equipment. Your space is your gym. What if it hurts when you move? Pain is a real barrier, especially if you have arthritis, injuries, or other health conditions. But staying still can make the pain worse over time. The key is move in ways that are gentle, safe, and right for your body. Talk to your doctor about this. Maybe you start slow and you just do a few minutes at a time. Or you can try seated movements, arm lifts, toe taps, shoulder rolls. Focus on range of motion and flexibility, not intensity. Try heat before you move and ice after if needed. You definitely want to talk to your doctor or physical therapist about these things. The goal isn't to push through the pain, but to find movements that help reduce it. For many people, moving more, even just a little, leads to less pain over time. One common barrier is, I don't feel motivated, especially if you've tried before and you didn't stick with it. Some days you just don't feel like it, and that's okay. But motivation is something you don't want to wait for. Motivation grows while you take action. Every time you move, even a little, you're building a habit and proving to yourself that you can do it. Don't wait to feel like it. Just do something small. Put on some music that gets you moving. Use a calendar or a checklist to track your movement. Maybe you should set a reward, like watching a favorite TV show after a short walk. Or ask a family member or a friend to be your movement buddy. The truth is, you'll feel better when you move. It's not, I'll move when I feel better. What if you don't know where to start? Maybe you've never had a workout routine. Maybe it's been years. Maybe you're just unsure. Remember this, there is no wrong place to start. Choose something simple, walking, stretching, or dancing. Keep your first goal very small, like moving for 5 minutes today. Try a movement menu with 3 to 5 activities to choose from. That's also a great thing for motivation, to have a variety of things you can choose from. Pick a time of the day that works best for you and use a reminder on your phone or write it on your calendar. The goal is to build confidence. Once you do something small, you're on your way. So let's hear from you. What's one challenge you face when it comes to moving more? And what's one thing that might help with that challenge? Okay, let's review the barriers and some simple solutions. If you don't have any time, break your movement into short chunks, like 5 or 10 minutes at a time. If you're too tired, start with small movement, and that builds energy over time. What if you don't have any money? Use your body, free videos, and everyday objects. Find a movement buddy for support if you're lacking motivation. Choose some activities that you enjoy. That will help you with motivation or the fact that you're too tired. If you don't know where to pick, if you don't know where to start, pick some small, easy thing and build from there. You don't need to fix everything today. Just pick one challenge and try one solution this week. That's it. Wow, you've done an amazing job today. You've learned what counts as movement, why it matters, and how to get around some common challenges that hold people back. Now we're going to talk about that learning and turning it into something personal, your own simple, doable goal. The next part is all about setting yourself up for success, not by doing something big or difficult, but by choosing one small thing you can do to move your body a little more this week. Here's the key. Small steps lead to big changes. Small steps lead to big changes. That is worth repeating. You don't need to walk a mile or join a gym or exercise for an hour. What you need to do is start moving more and stick with it. And that starts by picking a goal that feels right for you. Have you ever said, I really need to exercise more, but then you never got around to doing it? That's because saying, I'll move more is a nice idea, but it's not a goal. It's too general. It's too big, and it's too easy to forget. A real goal is specific. It tells you what to do, when to do it, and how you know you did it. Think of it like planning a trip. If you say, I want to go somewhere someday, will you ever get there? Probably not. But if you say, I want to go to Dallas next weekend, I'm driving there on Saturday at 10 a.m. and I've packed my bags, now that is a plan to follow. The same goes for movement. A goal gives you a clear next step, and every time you meet it, your confidence grows. To help us create strong, clear goals, we're going to use something called the SMART goal method. That's SMART. A, R, T. Each letter stands for something. The S is for specific, what exactly you are going to do. The M is for measurable. How will you know when it's done? The A is for achievable. Can you realistically do it this week? R is for relevant. Does this goal help you feel healthier, stronger, or better in some way? And T is for time bound. When will you do it and how often? So let's look at a quick example of a week goal versus a SMART goal. A week goal says, I want to exercise more. But a SMART goal is, I will walk around my block for 10 minutes after dinner on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of this week. See the difference? The second one is clear. You know exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how often. And when you've done it, you can check it off and say, I did that. So let's practice this. Let's set a simple goal, not for the rest of your life, but just for this week. Just one small step you can try for the next 5 to 7 days. Think about what you've learned today. What kind of movement feels good to you? What's realistic for your body, your schedule, your lifestyle? Let me ask you a few questions, and this will help guide you. What kind of movement do you want to do? This could be anything. So be thinking about this right now. Walking outside, stretching first thing in the morning, marching in place while you watch TV. Maybe it's a YouTube video for gentle movement or chair exercises. Pick something that feels doable, maybe even enjoyable. Put that in the chat. What type of movement do you think you want to do? Okay, how long will you do it? This doesn't have to be long. You can start with something like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, one song, or one lap around the apartment building. The goal is to start small and feel good about doing it. And maybe how many days this week you will do it. You don't have to do it every day. Maybe you start with 2 or 3 times this week. You can always do more later. But right now we're building success. And when will you do it? This is important. Tie it to something in your routine. Like I'll do it right after breakfast or right after work, while dinner is cooking, or after dropping the kids off at school. When you link a new habit to something you already do, it's easier to remember and stick with. Write it out. Here's a sentence you can use to write your goal. I will blank, which is your movement, for blank, that's how long, on blank, which is your days or when you're going to do it. I will stretch for 5 minutes in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday before breakfast. Or I will do seated leg lifts for 5 minutes while watching the news on Saturday and Sunday. So take a moment to think through your own goal. Be sure you write it down. If you have paper, that's great. Maybe you could write it in your notes on your phone or say it quietly to yourself. If you want to put it in the chat, that's great, but you don't have to. Some tips to give you is that writing it down helps you see it and remember it. You can put it somewhere like on your bathroom mirror or on your refrigerator. Tell someone, a family member or a friend. Telling someone helps reiterate that goal. Set a reminder on your phone. That's a great way to remind yourself. And reward yourself. When you do your movement, give yourself a small treat, like a cup of tea, or check it off of a chart, and be kind to yourself. If you miss a day, that's okay. You can start again tomorrow. One slip up doesn't mean you failed. You're still moving forward. The goal is progress, not perfection. You've done something powerful today. You've taken the time to learn, to reflect, and now you've set a personal goal that can help you feel better in your body and in your mind. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do what everybody else is doing or anybody else is doing. You just need to move a little bit more this week, your way. Remember, every step counts, every stretch counts, every minute you move is a gift to yourself. So let's commit to one small step this week. So now that you've started thinking about your personal movement goal, let's talk about something that helps turn a goal into a habit. That's building a daily routine that works for your life. A routine is simply a set of small things you do regularly. It's your rhythm. And when you build movement into your routine, it becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth or making your coffee. But here's the key. Your routine should fit your real life, not someone else's, not a fitness coach on Instagram, not a schedule that sounds good but doesn't match your job, your health, or your responsibilities. Let's create a routine that's simple, realistic, and doable, even when life is busy and unpredictable. So have you ever tried to create a new habit, like eating better or exercising, and it didn't stick? That usually happens when the habit isn't a part of your daily flow. If it feels like one more chore, it gets dropped when life gets stressful. But if it's part of your routine, it just happens. For example, if you always stretch for 5 minutes after brushing your teeth, that becomes normal. If you walk every day after dinner, it becomes expected. And if you do chair exercises during your favorite TV show, your body starts to look forward to it. Routine makes movement easier. You don't have to think about it, you just do it. The easiest way to build a new habit is to attach it to something you already do. Think about your day. What are the things you do almost every day? You wake up, you brush your teeth, you make coffee or tea, you drop your kids off at school, maybe. Almost everyone takes a lunch break. You watch certain TV shows, you eat dinner, you get ready for bed. Now pick one of those daily activities and connect it to your movement. For instance, after lunch, I will take a 5-minute walk. Or before I watch TV at night, I will do 10 arm circles. The key is to keep it short and simple. You're not changing your whole day. You're just adding a little movement to something you already do. Some people like to move first thing in the morning, and others feel better moving after lunch or in the evening. There's no wrong time, just the time that works best for you. Ask yourself, when do I have the most energy? When do I have 5 or 10 minutes of free time? When am I most likely to remember to move? That's your sweet spot. If your schedule changes a lot, that's okay too. You can build a flexible routine by having a list of 2 to 3 different items or times of options during the day. You're still winning because you're keeping movement in your day, even when life shifts around. Once you pick a time and an activity, write it down. You can use a sticky note on your bathroom mirror, a calendar on the wall, maybe a reminder on your phone. You're more likely to follow through if you see it written out. It also feels great to check it off and say, I did it. And don't forget, celebrate those small wins. Even if you've only moved for 5 minutes, that's a success. So let's talk about a few simple examples of routines. What if you're a busy working parent? In the morning, you could stretch for 3 minutes after brushing your teeth. In the evening, you could march in place during the kids' TV time. And at bedtime, you could breathe deeply and do neck rolls before you sleep. If you have limited mobility, maybe in the mornings you do seated arm and leg movements while sitting at a table. In the afternoon, you could use a towel for light stretches while watching TV. And in the evening, you could do light foot taps or ankle circles before bed. For someone with more flexibility in their day, They might walk in the morning after breakfast or dance to one song after lunch and maybe do some light stretching before dinner. The routine can change from day to day, but the goal is to keep movement at a regular part of your rhythm. So let's talk honestly for a moment. Starting something new is one thing, sticking with it is another. We all have days when we just don't feel like it. We get tired, stressed, busy, or we're just not in the mood. That's normal. Motivation comes and goes. The real secret to staying active isn't about feeling motivated all the time. It's about building a plan that helps you stay consistent even when motivation is low. So let's talk about how to keep going on the hard days and how to build habits that stick, even when life gets in the way. A lot of people think they have to feel motivated in order to move. But the truth is, action comes before motivation. Let me say that again. Action comes before motivation. That means if you start moving, the motivation will usually show up after you begin. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably don't get excited about it, but you do it anyway because it's part of your routine. And when you do it every day, it becomes automatic. Movement works the same way. The more you do it, the easier it gets, even on the days you don't feel like it. So make it so you can't say no. When motivation is low, we tend to put things off. That's why it helps to make your movement plan so simple you have no reason not to do it. Instead of saying, I have to work out for 30 minutes, try marching in place for 2 minutes, doing 5 stretches in your chair, or walking to the end of your street and back. The goal isn't to do a perfect workout. It's to keep your streak alive. Even a tiny bit counts. Once you start moving, you might be surprised and keep going. But even if you stop after 2 minutes, you still win because you showed up for yourself. Plan ahead for your low motivation days. Some days are harder than others, so make a plan now while you're feeling clear and motivated for what you'll do when you're not. Ask yourself, what will I do when I'm tired? What's my backup plan if it's raining or too hot to walk outside? What's one bare minimum move I'll do no matter what? Write it down and keep it somewhere visible. If you don't like moving, or if you don't feel like moving, say, I'll do 1 minute of shoulder rolls while sitting. Or if I'm too tired to walk, I'll do a standing stretch while brushing my teeth. That way you're prepared. You don't have to decide what to do. You just do what's on the list. Track your progress. Seeing your progress helps you to stay motivated. Use a calendar, a journal, or a goal tracker. Every time you move, no matter how small, check it off. Each check mark says, I showed up today. I'm still going. And if you miss a day, that's okay. Just pick back up the next day. The key is to focus on what you do most of the time, not whether you're perfect. Progress isn't about never missing a day. It's about not quitting when you do. And connect your movement to a bigger why. When you're low on motivation, go back to your reason for moving. That's your why. Ask yourself, do I want to feel less tired during the day? Do I want to sleep better? Do I want to reduce pain or move easier? Do I want to live longer and stay independent? Write down your why and keep it somewhere where you'll see it. Your bathroom mirror, your refrigerator, the home screen on your phone. On your tough days, look at your why and let that pull you forward. And don't do this alone. Get a movement buddy, and that makes it easier to be consistent. Invite a friend to join your movement challenge. Call or text somebody after your movement session. Maybe you could ask a family member to check in and cheer you on. Even if you don't move together in person, sharing your goals helps you feel supported, and you're more likely to stick with it. And least of all, be kind to yourself. You will have days off. I'm sorry, you will have off days, but that doesn't make you lazy or weak. It makes you human. When you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Instead, ask, what got in the way? What can I try tomorrow to make it easier? Then try again. Remember, consistency does not mean perfection. It means coming back over and over, even when it's hard. The truth is, motivation will come and go, but your commitment to your health can stay strong. You don't have to feel inspired. You just have to show up. Show up on the good days, show up on the hard days, show up even if it's just for 2 minutes. And every time you do, you're building a stronger body, a clearer mind, and a healthier you. You've already taken the first step. Now keep going, especially on the days you don't feel like it, because that's where the real change happens. You're not doing this alone. You're doing better than you think. And track your progress. That will help you. Um, One of the best ways to stay on track with your movement is to track it. Progress is powerful because it shows you proof that your efforts matter. Even small wins build momentum, and your tracking doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a fancy device or application. A simple wall calendar or notebook, or even check marks on a piece of paper can work. Each time you meet your goal, put a check mark or a sticker on that day. Over time, those marks add up and they remind you that you are building consistency. Tracking also will help you notice patterns. Maybe you're more successful moving in the morning than in the evening, or maybe weekends are harder than weekdays. When you see these trends, you can adjust your plan instead of giving up. Tracking makes your progress visible and real. When you're feeling discouraged, looking back on all the days you moved can give you the boost of confidence you need. Remember, what gets measured gets done. Tracking your progress turns your movement into something you can celebrate, one step at a time. What about overcoming your setbacks? Because setbacks are a part of any journey, we want to look at this. Maybe you get sick, or you get overwhelmed, or you just simply lose momentum. Just start again. The important thing is to see setbacks as normal, not failure. Missing a day, a week, or even a month doesn't erase the progress you've made. The only true failure is giving up completely. When setbacks happen, take a moment to reflect. What caused this? Was your goal too big? Was your routine unrealistic? Use that information and adjust your plan so that it works better for you. The main point is to restart. Just do it. Be kind to yourself. Self-criticism makes it harder to restart, but self-compassion encourages you to try again. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. Falling off doesn't mean you never ride. It just means you're practicing. Make adjustments. Start small again if you need to. Maybe instead of 15 minutes of movement, begin with 5. Celebrate restarting, even if it feels tiny. Every comeback makes you stronger. Remember, setbacks are not the end. They're a chance to reset, learn, and keep moving. Progress is not about being perfect. It's about getting back up every time you stumble. One of the wonderful things about movement is that it's for everyone, at any age. You don't need to be young, athletic, or in perfect health to benefit. Movement can be adopted to fit your body, your stage of life. For those with children, movement builds healthy habits early and supports growth. For adults, movement manages stress, keeps energy levels up, and strengthens the heart muscles. And for older adults, even gentle activities like walking, stretching, and chair exercises can help maintain your balance, flexibility, and independence. You don't need to push yourself to extremes. Low impact activities like swimming, cycling, or yoga can be easier on the joints. The key is consistency, not intensity. Movement helps with everyday tasks, lifting groceries, climbing stairs, picking up children. No matter your age, moving your body keeps you engaged in life. It's never too late to start. Every stretch, every step, or dance adds to your health. Movement isn't about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about giving your body what it needs to thrive at every stage of life. Okay, what are some free and low-cost ways to move? You don't need a gym membership or expensive equipment to stay active. In fact, some of the best ways to move are free and very low cost. Walking is one of the easiest options. You can walk in your neighborhood, at a park, even inside your apartment building. Another great option is to use free online videos. YouTube and other platforms offer workouts for all levels, even stretching, yoga, cardio, and strength. Household chores also count as movement. So clean away, sweeping, mopping, and carrying laundry all get your body moving. If you enjoy social activities, check your community center or library. Many offer free or low-cost classes like dance, tai chi, or chair fitness. Body weight exercises like squats, wall push-ups, calf raises require no equipment at all. Even dancing around your living room to your favorite song is a workout. The key is to find what works for you and your budget. Movement doesn't have to cost money. It just takes creativity and willingness. Free and low-cost options make fitness accessible to everyone. Remember, the best exercise is the one you'll actually do, and the most valuable investment you'll make in your health. So let me leave you with some reminders. Start small. One new habit is better than none. Be flexible. Life happens. If you miss a day, try again tomorrow. Do what you enjoy. If you like dancing, dance. If you like walking, walk. Movement should feel good, not like a punishment. And make it yours. This is your body, your life, and your pace. A good routine isn't about doing everything right. It's about finding your own rhythm, one that fits your life, your energy, and your goals. You don't need to change your whole schedule overnight. You just need to add a little movement, a little at a time, in a way that works for you. You've already taken the first step, and now you're going to keep going, one small step, one steady movement at a time. So remember, movement is for everyone. Your small steps lead to big results, and your health and well-being matter. You can do this. Say these things. I can move my body. I can build healthy habits. I don't have to be perfect, just consistent. I am worth the effort. And you know that? You are worth the effort. So go and do everything that you need to. Make a goal. Take small steps, one step at a time. Thank you for showing up today, for learning, for planning. I'm proud of you already. You've started on your journey. Now keep it going.